Smith for Mommy Tech TV. We're at BloggerBash, New York City, and you can hear the excitement here. That's because Anne Geddes was here talking to the crowd. So excited to have you here with us today. Welcome.
It's fantastic to be here. You know, I said to all these mommy bloggers, you have no idea of the amazing work that you're doing, you know, because I had a baby, my first baby 30 years ago, and, you know, it's quite lonely and isolating when you're at home with a newborn, and it's just wonderful for the moms these days to have this.
Isn't it? It kind of makes you want to have another baby, just to do it again with all this great technology and camaraderie, kind of.
Well, it doesn't make me want to have another baby. No, but you know, I've got the best job in the world because I get to see the babies all the time, and then they go home and sleep at someone else's house, you know, which is an ideal scenario.
That's awesome. So I want to hear about these babies. I mean, you are known for photographing adorable images of infants, really. How did you start this?
Well, I started 30 years ago, and I did portraiture for 10 years, and which I think is really, really important in terms of photographers who are wanting to photograph people, you know, and in particular little children, because it taught me how to deal with children of different ages, you know, how to get their attention, how to get the best out of them in quite a short period of time. You know, there's a vast difference between a newborn and a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old, for instance. You know, those notorious 2-year-olds. Oh, I'm too old.
Difficult.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting today. I mean, as a technology journalist, people ask me all the time, what's the best camera to get? And, of course, the answer is the camera that you have with you all the time, which is the one on your phone, which is really not the best way to take photographs of your infant.
Can I let you in on a little secret? I never use my phone to take photographs. I just never do. And my daughters look at me like, oh, God, you know, but I just can't do that. But, you know, people ask me a lot, you know, what is the best camera? And the best camera is your imagination. So, and these days, the phones do take great photographs. I don't use phones. I use big cameras in big studio setups and things like that. Yeah.
What's your ideal setup?
Well, I shoot in a studio, and it's a very controlled situation. So as I say to people, you know, I can advise you on how to take photos of your baby at home, but don't try and do what I'm doing because it's far more complicated than it actually looks. I think the best photographs are really, really uniquely simple, but there's a cleverness behind them.
So what would be your advice? I mean, all these mom bloggers here, they are, of course, taking photographs of their babies and their kids with their phones. And now we have all these accessories, lenses you can add to your phone. I mean, it's really very clever being able to enhance the memories that you're making. What advice do you have for moms when they take a picture and want to kind of bring it to life?
Well, you know, the best advice I would give for photographing babies at home is keep it really simple. Watch what's happening in your background, and let your child's personality shine through. You know, you don't want to do anything too formal. You got to get down to their level. And, you know, one of the most important pieces of advice I can give is that make sure you include yourself in as many photographs as possible, because your children will never think of you as ever being young, and they'll love to mock you for your hairstyles and your clothes when they're adults, you know. And I mean, I had my 2 girls in the 80s, so you see where that's
Big
going.
hair?
Yes, shoulder pads, you know, the whole thing. But it's really, really important, you know, because they don't see you when they don't remember you when they're babies, you know, and they'll be really interested in what you actually look like when they were small.
That's so true. That is just so true. Can you tell me what, was there one scenario that you felt was just really captured a baby's personality? I know you take many, many different types of scenarios.
Well, you know, the babies always bring the magic to the image, and, you know, it doesn't happen every time, but when something really special happens, it's just fantastic, you know. There's a photo that everybody will know, which was taken years ago, of a little baby who's smiling in a bed of roses, and she's got the most gorgeous smile. And I nearly missed it because when she came into the studio, she was sitting on the floor, on the carpet in our reception. And when I walked out to say hello to her, she looked up at me with that smile. And her mother said, "Oh, I hate it when she does that." And I'm like, "It's so cute." And so I was up in the ceiling, and she was lying in the bed of roses, and I kept smiling at her like that to try and get her to do it, and she did, you know, and it just all sort of came together. I was like, oh, that's just awesome. That babies can be so, look, you know, they're so important to families. They carry families forward. They carry generations forward. They're just such a sign of hope for everybody concerned. But they can be so funny as well. They really can, you know, especially the little 6-month-olds. You know.
That's a perfect age if you could keep them that way. And I know that your photographs resonate with so many people, you know, because they're just such cute portraits, and you do bring out that personality. You have a new book coming out?
Well, we've got a Little Blessings that I'm signing here today, and we've also got, I showed all the mommy bloggers here the first images from my new series, Under the Sea, and the calendar is on pre-sale on Amazon now, but obviously it comes out when calendars come out, you know, but there's mermaids and seahorses, and it was such an amazing project to do. And also people should know that in October there's a site called Creative Live, and they're based in Seattle, and I'm going to be shooting my next project there, and so people will be able to go on for free and watch one of the shoots, because, you know, they will answer all of those questions that people ask me, you know, what's it like, and how do you get the babies asleep, and so on, you know, and how all the props are made, and, you know, it's just be an interesting look into the Anne Geddes world. Yeah.
So kind of to see over your shoulder. Where can people go to get information about that?
They can go to Creative Live or go to my website or Facebook page, and we'll tell people when it's on. But it's the end of October, and that'll be the next series of images for the next calendar after Under the Sea. I can't tell you what it is yet.
Well, we'll wait. I look forward to seeing Under the Sea. Last question I have to ask you. You said you don't take photographs with your phone. Do you use technology, or do you kind of let your kids do that?
I've got a fantastic little Leica camera that I have carried with me for years, to do, you know, family shots and things like that. But I shoot on a big Hasselblad system in the studio, and those cameras are too heavy to carry around. Believe me. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time, and it's such a pleasure chatting with Anne Geddes. Everybody should go check out her book and her new series, Under the Sea, and definitely take a look to see the upcoming shoot. I'm Andrea Smith for Mommy Tech TV at BloggerBash, New York City.